Viewers have conjectured about the Night King's background in Game of Thrones, with some questioning if he is a Targaryen. Such character revelations are not unheard of in the world of George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire book series. After all, there are already a number of characters in the North who have been revealed to have Targaryen ancestry between the books and the television series. In the television series, Jon Snow is the son of Rhaegar Targaryen. In the literature, the three-eyed raven is implied to be a Targaryen bastard, and Maester Aemon of the Night's Watch is a Targaryen. It's not too much to imagine to speculate about the White Walkers' possible origins, considering how enigmatic they are. Nonetheless, a scene from Game of Thrones depicted the creation of the Night King, and it contains enough details to address at least some of the inquiries regarding his background and intentions. Sadly, Bran Stark's visions did not fully depict the White Walkers that fans had hoped for in the Game of Thrones finale, but at least they make it clear that the Night King is not a Targaryen. To put it simply, the Night King is just too old to be a Targaryen, and he never could be. The history of the Targaryen family begins across the sea in Essos at the Valyrian Freehold, some 5,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones. That's not the case. The Night King is much older, and the show suggests he comes from Westeros. The fact that the Night King could walk through fire and that he survived the dragonfire in Season 8 sparked a lot of curiosity about whether or not he was a Targaryen. But House of the Dragon shows that surviving fire isn't some inborn advantage of being a Targaryen. Although Daenerys appears to have it in Game of Thrones, it is entirely her own gift. And the Night King rides a dragon too, though that's probably just because he has necromancy abilities. The way the White Walkers, who were supposed to be an intriguing, enigmatic foe, are handled in Game of Thrones Season 8 is just one of the show's many problems. Regretfully, their beginnings and intentions turned out to be fairly straightforward. In a vision scene in Season 6, the children of the forest kill a man by piercing his skin with a dragon glass dagger. This indicated that the Night King was descended from one of the first men of the North. This suggests that he is more likely to have Stark ancestry than Targaryen ancestry. But there is no evidence in Game of Thrones to support that theory either. As of right now, only the HBO series, especially House of the Dragon, have featured the plot point of Aegon traveling to Westeros because he saw visions of the Long Night. It's unclear if George R. R. Martin already intended to divulge more information about Aegon's true motivations or if this was a retcon that the show's writers suggested. Either way, it would seem reasonable that Aegon the Conqueror had more in mind for Westeros than simply capturing a foreign territory. Aegon's dream was revisited in House of the Dragon Season 2, with Rhaenyra now narrating the tale to Jacaerys. It can be annoying how little significance the Targaryens placed on the Long Night, considering how quickly it was resolved in Season 8 of Game of Thrones. However, from an in-universe standpoint, the knowledge that all Targaryen kings possessed of the danger that lay beyond the wall, or at the very least of some otherworldly menace terrifying enough to drive Aegon to subjugate a whole continent, adds a further dimension to the tale of their dynasty. Rhaenyra claims that the people seated on the Iron Throne are protectors, rather than merely rulers in a conversation with Jace regarding the Song of Ice and Fire. One is that Jon Snow would be equally ice and fire if he were the real son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark from the books. An alternative reading is that Daenerys is the fire and Jon Snow is the ice. Last but not least, if Daenerys' journey in Game of Thrones was truly the Song of Ice and Fire the entire time, it was House Targaryen's goal to end the Long Night in Westeros. It's interesting to note that, despite the Aegon twist being included in the books, Viserys and Dany were never given the opportunity to hear